recall of Fisher-Price's Rock and Play sleeper may have you asking questions about your child's safety, especially when it comes to sleeping.
Today's CI Health sponsor, Carle, shares more insight. We have pediatrician Dr. Kitty Buetow here with us to tell us about all things when it comes to babies. How long do you have? Can we get to everything that has to do with a baby?
You have a whole day.
How long have you been checking babies over?
Oh, for more than 50 years.
Wow. And no signs of retirement.
No, it's not in my agenda.
It seems to me like over time, some of these rules have changed.
Great.
Is that true? Like
Yes.
always on their stomach or always on their backs, or sleeping with you is better, the sleeping with you is bad. So let's talk through some of these things about, let's just start with safe sleeping habits for babies. What should we be doing?
Well, one of the things we can think about are the ABCs of sleeping. A means the baby sleeps alone. Never with an adult, never with a sibling, always alone. B is the baby sleeps on his or her back and flat on their back. Sometimes parents say, well, we'll put them on their side. That's not safe. We want to make sure babies do not get their heads buried in bedding. And so the safest place for newborns is on their back. I urge parents to always put their baby down, laying on their back, until the baby is old enough to turn over by himself or herself.
Because there is a risk of SIDS if they
Yes.
are not sleeping on their back. Is that right?
That's correct. And that's the main reason for switching from sleeping on stomachs, which I know grandmothers always say, that's where my baby slept.
Right.
But sleeping on the back is demonstrated to be considerably safer.
And the same thing
And
with
that's-
sleeping alone, too, right? You don't want someone else to block an airway by
Right.
rolling over or
Yes.
a blanket getting caught.
And then the C part is the baby sleeps in a crib or a bassinet, but in the baby's own space with a firm blanket. Baby should sleep in a comfortable sleeper, one that's appropriate for the weather, and maybe a light blanket in the bed, but nothing else. We no longer have those cute crib bumpers, no plush toys, no sheepskins, nothing else in the bed. A firm blanket, a comfortable sheet that's tucked in, and a light blanket. And babies do not need to be kept super warm. They do very well in 70-degree rooms.
Huh, interesting.
So
Now, all the information about having a baby sleep is great news. As I recall, my kids never slept. It was really difficult to get them to sleep and to sleep solid. How long should a typical baby be sleeping in a given day?
a newborn is going to sleep about 20 hours a day.
It's like a cat.
Wow.
Yes. But they
3 to
fall-
4 hours at a time, right?
Yes. As they get older, they eventually sleep about 12 hours a day.
That's still a lot.
Yes.
And then they get to be teenagers and they're back to sleeping 20 hours a day.
Yes.
That's how that goes.
So I was looking here at your notes. So by about 4 months, they start to sleep 10 to 12 hours at night with longer naps during the day. So
Yes,
they will
and-
have some more awake time.
Typically, they will take 2 naps a day.
Okay.
And that transition, as I recall, going from 2 to 1 can just be brutal because they don't want to sleep in the second nap, but they clearly need at least a little bit of it.
Yes.
Are there any tips for that transition, or is
I
it just good luck?
I think it's important for parents to begin early on teaching their babies how to put themselves to sleep. I know it's very comforting to rock the baby to sleep, but the baby does better and learns better sleep habits if they're put to bed while they're still awake and learn how to self-soothe. Some babies will learn this more easily than
Yeah.
others.
That is the truth.
We did that, and it was hard listening to them cry for a while, but they gave in. So
I don't know if
And
the holding was
no
more soothing for
baby-
me or as it was for the baby.
Yeah.
It's like all the
No
screaming.
baby has ever actually injured themselves by crying.
good.
It's hard for parents to sit there and listen to the baby cry, but if you stick it out and the baby learns how to soothe herself or himself, it works much better.
I know a lot of moms out there who are fans of the co-sleeping, but still you don't recommend that.
There are 3,500 babies a year in the U.S. who do not survive because they're sleeping in an unsafe environment. So we strongly recommend that parents do everything they can to keep their babies safe. And sometimes people say, well, when the baby's sick, maybe it would be better if they were with me. No, it wouldn't. It would be better if they were sleeping in a very safe environment, but close to the parent. The current recommendation is to have the baby in the room with the parents for the first year of life.
Yeah.
I also read, and we saw on the screen there a second ago, when it comes to smoking, that's can be especially dangerous because it's on clothing and sheets and things, and that's something the baby's exposed to. I'm assuming that's the reason why?
Yes, and parents tell me, well, I just smoke outside. They still have that residual on their hands, in their breath, and babies can get it. And we do know that the incidence of SIDS is higher in babies who are exposed to smoke environments. So obviously, avoiding smoking is another safe skill that parents should practice.
Yeah, and something else you should practice is staying up to date on all of the latest information out there, recall alerts and all of that to keep your baby safe.
Yes, and they can get that from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. They can, if they have equipment, they can register that equipment, and then they will be notified if there's a recall. Stores will sometimes post recall notices, so they should keep as up to date as possible. And certainly when they visit their physician, they can ask, are these things safe? And there's some things that are safe used correctly. For example, a car seat buckled into the car is very safe. It is not safe to let a baby sleep in a car seat in the house.
Got it.
Because as the children get bigger and more active, they can jump around enough to turn over the car seat. Then the baby is laying face down on a surface and may smother.
Yeah.
So
bad things can
babies
happen.
also should not sleep in swings for the same reason.
Yeah. Well, you are a fountain of useful baby information. Thank you for being here. I was going to ask where you were 12 years ago when my kids wouldn't sleep, but I guess you were probably right here, weren't you? So
I was right here.
That's totally on me. Yeah, that's right. Well, now I know. We will connect you with all the details about Carl and safe sleeping habits for your baby at CILiving.tv.